quote of today is: get over the idea that only children should spend their time in study. Be a student so long as you still have something to learn, and this will mean all your life. By Henry.
Welcome to the OTech Talks podcast, where it's all about working on technologies. You will hear the latest tech information, and your host, Kashif Manzoor, brings together product overviews, how-tos, best practices, tips and tricks, and troubleshooting techniques.
Good morning. This is Kashif Manzoor on otechtalks.tv. And today we are gonna start our session number 46. And from last 6 sessions, we are talking on the topic of digital transformation. We had a discussion starting from session number 39, where we discussed what is digital transformation, learning the basics, then why digital transformation is required. What are the benefits of digital transformation? How do you start a digital transformation? And what other organizations are doing to achieve digital transformation? Then in session 44, we spoke on what are the challenges in digital transformation. And our last session 45 was on how to overcome digital transformation challenges. All these sessions are available in otechtalks.tv as a form of podcast, and you can access www.otechtalks.tv. Under the podcast menu, you will find all the sessions. And today we are going to continue discussion on the challenges of digital transformation. When we spoke during last session of the challenges on digital transformation, and we realized that we need to have a full session on the cultural issues, what is all about and what are the major challenges on the culture side when we are running any digital transformation project or program for any organization. So if we summarize it, digital transformation it's all about culture. Now, before starting a session, let's go through for today's quote, which is just to motivate ourselves and keep intact of our objective on the learning side. The quote of today is: get over the idea that only children should spend their time in study. Be a student so long as you still have something to learn, and this will mean all your life. By Henry Dorothy. So that's the quote, which I usually take from the quotegarden.com. And now let's go back to our session or our topic of today about the cultural challenges, issues on the program of digital transformation. While learning the basics of digital transformation and on the topic of challenges in digital transformation, the biggest roadblock or the challenge is the culture. And it's a problem that's worsening. No strategies is working at all. Whatever I have researched, curated different content from different sources, and let's go through that one. For example, a report published by Capgemini, the Digital Culture Challenge during 2018, states that in 2011, a majority of respondents, 55%, said that culture was the number one hurdle to digital transformation. But in their latest research, this figure has actually risen to 62%. So from 2011, 55% to 62% in 2018. This report is based on the survey of Digital Culture March-April 2017, where approximately 1,700 respondents out of 340 organizations. Even tons of other organizations have gathered research that support it. Let's look into another report from PwC. According to research by PwC, a whopping 75% of change initiative will fail due to a lack of digital culture. You can imagine another report from the PwC. 75% of change initiatives will fail only due to the cultural problems. So digital transformation or a digital maturity, or we name it a digitization, no matter what term we used, digital is, we understand, it's revolutionizing the way business operate and succeed. And even in fact, a third of key decision makers, according to McKinsey, states that culture is the most significant barrier to digital effectiveness, followed by a lack of understanding of digital trends. That's a 25%. That's a report from the McKinsey, which they published it. Now you can imagine culture for a digital age. That's an important point. Now if we'll continue to the further researchers or the analyst reports, there's another report with the title, it's a study done by the Singapore Management University, Tata Communications, DBS Bank, and KPMG in Singapore, with the name of Cultural Transformation in the Digital World. And they found that leader effectiveness is directly correlated with the perceptions of organizational readiness for digital transformation, and that transformation initiatives will only succeed if they are championed by the actions, not the words, of an organization's leaders. 87% of respondents agreed that culture created bigger barriers to digital transformation than technology, and 70% agreed that their leaders had the ability to lead on digital transformation, but only 50% believed that they were appreciative of implementation challenges. So that's how the situation or the reports on the cultural challenges which we're facing on the digital challenge. Now, there's another saying from Peter Drucker, I think, the culture eats strategy for breakfast. The saying goes by Peter Drucker. Culture is a powerful social force that shapes and promotes certain ideas, customs, and social behaviors, while discouraging others. In organizations, culture is critical to the shared sense of purpose that mobilizes employees to work towards a common goal. Gartner identifies 6 barriers to becoming a digital business, and in Gartner report, number 1 is a change-resisting culture. And what they said, digital innovation can be successful only in a culture of collaboration. People have to be able to work across boundaries and explore new ideas. In reality, most organizations are stuck in a culture of change-resistant silos and hierarchies. And Mr. Bosch, according to Gartner, he mentioned culture is organizational dark matter. You can't see it, but its effects are obvious. The challenge is that many organizations have developed a culture of hierarchy and clear boundaries between areas of responsibilities. Digital innovation requires the opposite: collaborative, cross-functional, and self-directed teams that are not afraid of uncertain outcomes. That's how it will bring digital innovation. And by 2021, 80% of mid-sized to large enterprises will change their culture as a way to accelerate their digital transformation strategy. Another report from Gartner, which found that 67% of organizations have already completed culture change initiatives or were in the process of doing so. The reason for many of those initiatives was that the current culture has been identified as a barrier to digital transformation. That's how the situation is on the culture. Now, in 50% of cases, transformational initiatives are clear failures, and CIUs report that the main barrier is culture, said by a Struckman. Research Vice President Christy Struckman, Research Vice President at Gartner, the logical conclusion is that CIOs should start with culture change when they embark on digital transformation, not wait to address it later. So you can imagine, after going through all these reports from different sources, the number one barrier is on the journey of digital transformation is culture. Now, what is culture? As defined defined in the Capgemini report, corporate culture is the result of how a company works and operates. It is composed of the collective experiences of employees, what they believe in and what they value. Leadership, purpose, and how work on implement a vision also play a role in describing a corporate culture. Building on the research with MIT and what Capgemini considered to be an organization, they have defined digital culture as a set of 7 key attributes. The one, innovation. The prevalence of behaviors that support risk-taking, disruptive thinking, and the exploration of new ideas. Data-driven decision-making. The use of data and analytics to make better business decisions. 3, collaboration, the creation of cross-functional interdepartmental teams. 4, of open culture, the extent of partnership with external networks such as third-party vendors, startups, or customers. 5, digital first mindset, a mindset where digital solutions are the default way forward. 6, agility and flexibility, the speed and dynamism of decision making and the ability of the organization to adapt to changing demands and technologies. 7, customer centricity, the use of digital solutions to expand the customer base, transform the customer experience, and co-create new products. After going through these 7 digital culture defined attributes: innovation, data-driven decision-making, collaboration, open culture, digital first mindset, agility and flexibility, customer centricity. All these are the characteristics of which defined a digital culture for as an organization. Now, we understood the challenges from different reports, different surveys. Then we touched based on what is defined as a digital culture for an organization. Now let's get into how to overcome these challenges. And then again on this one, there's a very good report published by, which we call as Methods to Drive a Cultural Change by Russell Reynolds. A culture is a key success factor in industrial digital transformation. In this report, they categorize or mention methods to drive cultural change, which are categorized into three areas. The first area is where the CEO and senior leadership, what are the actions they need to do? They need to create a mission-driven transformation and ensure that the most senior individuals embody the associated values and behaviors. They need to streamline governance structure and break down hierarchies to avoid decisions being stalled by multiple boards, councils. They need to enable idea generation and a fail-fast mindset. Ensure ideas are evaluated and processed so employees' perspectives are captured and heard by those who have the power to take decisions on everything that could provide value. As a method to CEO and senior leadership, they mentioned encourage a mix of generations through reverse mentoring, programs whereby younger employees advise senior leaders on digital matters. This is a wonderful idea. That if you have a C level, whatever senior management and they are in the 50s, 60s, like a reverse mentoring program where the younger employees, the junior one, they will advise or they will suggest on to the senior management on the digital matters. Be honest what the company does best and partner with other players in the ecosystem to acquire available solutions and expertise. And the last point, or the method out of leadership styles, recognize and reward open-mindedness and willingness to change. Those who exhibit these traits are the champions for transformation. And I will put in the show notes these methods to drive cultural change. I will move to the second one, which is human resources. So these are three pillars which Russell Reynolds identified, or a method driving a cultural change in digital transformation for digital transformation in an organization. Encourage hiring people with diversity of thought and background and foster a mindset of inclusion, acceptance, and understanding of different perspectives. Enable rotation of talent both into and out of the digital team to empower a broader group of employees. Allow digital leaders to take actions when they diagnose a need, for example, training or development to get talent to the next level. Give digital hires freedom, for example, to choose their own hardware and operating systems. Recognize the pace of hiring in technology is fast and speed up the recruitment timeline so as to not miss out on high quality digital talent. Create different physical spaces such as shared co-working spaces and digital centers that can be utilized by different groups in the organization. Engage factory and service employees by creating a hero culture, encouraging them to be pioneers who take pride in being at the forefront of transformation. So it's actually involve who are the actual workers, either from your production, your warehouse. Don't only rely on the management. If we'll go to the third area on the method on the driving a digital change or cultural change, digital leaders. Define clearly what digital means to the company to ensure everyone works towards a common goal. And if you refer back to our session number 40, I think in that we were talking about on from the challenges point of view that there's no clear visibility or the vision from the C-level management that what digital transformation is for that organization. Be prepared to teach and lead the organization through its transformation. Work closely with customers and on co-creation to ensure digital functionalities and products are not created in a vacuum. It's all collaboration. Visit plants and offices to understand which internal processes can be optimized using technology, analytics, or the emerging technologies starting from IoT, blockchain, chatbots, or digital assistants, and even the re-engineering the processes. Leverage new products and functionalities, KPIs and revenues to sell a product or to tell a story about your product. That you want to prove a point on your product, functionalities, features, how to tell a story. And reiterate that digital is a means to an end. Encourage agile ways of working to create a modern project-oriented culture that focuses on getting the job done as a team rather than about levels and reporting lines. Be pioneers for open and transparent communication across the organization to help drive employee engagement. Frankly, I love these points. The methods to drive digital culture, starting from enabling the fail fast mindset, then reverse mentoring, and diversity of thought leadership or diversity of teams when you are building it, and even give them the freedom. Visits to the factory, warehouses, plants, and even co-create with the customers who are actually your customers. Visit plants, offices to internal to understand internal. So if I'm just summarizing it, that what I took it as an highlights from these methods. So these methods will definitely drive a cultural change in the organization, which is important, or what we understood till now, that is very important for achieving the digital transformation in an organization. And I will just mention while concluding our cultural challenges on the digital transformation, Netflix CEO Reed Hastings once explained in a famous presentation that his company's culture was built on self-driven, high-performing individuals. So he said, great workplace is not espresso, lush benefits, sushi lunches. He said, great workplace is stunning colleagues. This culture of self-discipline, which he compared to that of pro sports team, was especially key for a fast-moving digital business like Netflix. And that you can see is expanded to hundreds of countries. And I will mention this, I think, for presentation links in the keynotes. Thank you so much for listening. Our third session on culture barriers, a challenge in the digital transformation journey. With this, we have done 3-part series on the challenges of digital transformation, where we spoke on what are the challenges in digital transformation, how to overcome digital transformation challenges, the common one, starting from the blind challenge, no consensus on what digital transformation means, CEO sponsorships and all that, or lack of vision and leadership buy-in. Please go to otechtalks.tv and share your comments, feedback on this initiative of learning and sharing on the digital transformation. Just to reiterate it, this gives me focus so that I will also learn myself. And I've already shared it, that whatever I'm trying to document it. What are the current learning curves, or what are the initiatives which I'm taking to improve my knowledge. Once again, thank you so much, and thank you for sharing your feedback with me. And I'm happy that we are almost close to 20,000 downloads of the podcast. And I think by the next session, we will be able to cross the 20,000 downloads of the session. Once again, thank you so much. Reach out to me on the Facebook, social media channels, Twitter, LinkedIn, or on otechtalks.tv. Have a blessed life. As the month of Ramadan, the Eid is coming, maybe there will be a delay on the sessions for next 1-2 weeks, because after 1 week during the Eid al-Fitr, I will be going on short vacation for 1 week, and we'll talk to you after the Eid holidays. Advance Eid Mubarak to all of you. Have a wonderful holiday season, or short holiday season. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the OTech Talks podcast, and be part of Tech Talks at otechtalks.tv. It's a turf to share ideas, insights, and innovations.